Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you, brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you, believers out there, the Aki and Wa Akwa. And what I want to get into in this lesson is, let's start off with this scripture. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. In the KJV, it says, what? For bodily exercise profiteth little. All right. But guess what? It does profit. All right. It profiteth little because we all know, you're not going to keep this body. We're getting new bodies at the end of the day. So, it's not useless. All right. But, eventually this body, it gets old. And it's time to return to the grave. Now, the scriptures do tell us it will be some that won't touch death. But, for the average individual, you have a birth date and you have a death date, a passing on date. This body will die. The spirit moves on to the spirit world, but the body will be shedded. All right. But it do profiteth little. Now, in NLT, it says physical training is good. All right. It's good. All right. It is good. Because one thing I noticed, I heard a brother say it, like, when you're teaching physical training, and I'm going to go to it, the benefits. Some of you out there might know the benefits. I was watching the benefits of working out yesterday because I felt good after a workout I did last night. I came home from work. I had decided, like, I'm about to just go ahead and get a workout in. And it felt so good, man. I felt good afterwards because I had, kind of fell off a little bit. But it felt so good. And, I slept better. It just felt good, man, to do it. I felt, less stressed. I felt like my head was more clear. And I'm going to go, Lord willing, get a workout in tonight. I like working out at night for some reason. I'm one of those people that like to work out in the night, not really in the morning. I like working out either midday or night for some reason, but I got it in after work last night, got off late. I had the night shift, the late, I had to work from, till like 10:30. And then, got home about 11, settled in. Then I worked out about 11 something, and it felt good. But let's go to these benefits. But I was back to what I was saying. I heard a brother say it, like, training is good, for your fit. And the Apostle Gabar he been going in, he been walking miles and miles and miles. He put out the video. It shouldn't be no sloppy brothers in GMS. Now, I'm not in GMS. I'm a student of GMS. I learned from them, I'm not in GMS, just to throw that out there. But again, I am a student of GMS, So he put out that video. All right. And, Apostle Gabar, he said he was pushing 60. And, for him to be walking miles and miles at his age, most people his age don't do that. They don't get out there and walk miles and miles. Now, where I stay now, in Georgia, it's a little suburban Georgia, right? Now, I ain't gonna lie. When I be on my way to work in the morning, you see people, more, because I was living in the hood before, and now I'm living out in a different area, about 30, 40 minutes outside the hood. And I ain't gonna lie, when you come out to these burbs, and that could be in any state, you see these little Beckies walking. Even Eve be out there, Jake be running. I just came back to the home and I seen Jake out there running. A Jake dude out there running. I be seeing Jake running. Out here versus the hood. You don't really be seeing that. So, hey, it profiteth to help you because, you might like to eat a lot. You might like to, sip on a little yan. The working out helps you slow down on those things. It should, because you might want to work out You might work out and be like, I'm not gonna do the yan yan tonight. I'm just gonna, I'm pack it up, go to sleep, or whatever. You might work out, go to work. Of course, you probably shouldn't be sipping yan yan before work. But what I'm saying is, let's say after work you work out, all right? Because you shouldn't be, getting drunk or buzzed before. I mean, I done did it before, not in the truth, I should say, but like before, we all have probably did our little vices before work, get rights. But let's say after work, you work out, it ain't nothing wrong with the yan yan, but I feel like it'll help you balance it out where you don't do it as much. You don't consume as much in one setting, or you don't consume as much throughout the week, because that workout gets you to be like, okay, I want to focus on my health. So I want to cut down on my drinking, cut down on, eating as much, or even just cutting down on what I eat, your diet. Let's get into these benefits. It says weight management. All right. Like the apostle said, it shouldn't be no fat, sloppy brothers in GMS. Again, I'm not in GMS. I'm a student. And I felt that lesson, even though I always been lean all my life. But just because you lean don't mean you're healthy per se. Just because somebody is skinny or lean or you slim, that don't mean you're healthy. All right. You got people who are lean, but they can't walk 2 blocks. You got people who are lean and they can't really run and things like that. So lean don't contribute to health. It just means you could probably have a high metabolism. All right. And, your parents could have been lean and you took that trait. All right. But it says exercise burns calories and boosts metabolism. All right. Helping to control weight. Cardiovascular health. Regular exercise strengthens the heart, lowers blood pressure, and reduces the risk of heart disease and stroke. Bone health. Exercise stimulates bone growth and density, reducing the risk of osteoporosis. Muscle strength and endurance. Exercise builds and strengthens muscles, improving overall function. Yeah, that's me. I don't like running, but I hit the treadmill, even if it's for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I do that to build up, because I feel like that's one thing I don't like doing is running, but I know it's good to run. You know what I'm saying? And last night I got my exercise in. I hit the treadmill for a couple minutes, and that was it. I did soft treadmill. I ain't got to, be on there 10, 20, 30 minutes. No, just hit it and build up. It says improved immune system. Exercise helps the body fight off infections and reduce inflammation. All right. Which inflammation is a big thing. Inflammation can cause pain in certain parts of the body. It can cause acne. All right. The brother out there, I know he in Cali. I don't know what part of Cali. The brother, his name is Kanak. He goes into a lot of the, herbs and stuff like that from time to time. He did a whole video on acne, improving acne. It says mental health. It says reduce stress and anxiety. It helped me, we get stressed out in this world. And after that workout, I was not stressed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was feeling good. All right. Exercise release endorphins, right, which have mood boosting and stress reducing effect. Like them endorphins was going last night. I felt so good. Like I hopped in the shower, laid in the bed, like I was just feeling so good. You know what I'm saying? Improve sleep. Yup. Regular exercise promotes better sleep quality and reduces insomnia. All right. Enhance cognitive function. Exercise improve memory, attention, and problem solving skills. Right. How my head felt clear. Everything. Because like I said, I hadn't worked out in a little minute. And I was like, man, I got to get it in, and I gotta, I did my little, exercise, hit the treadmill, and I felt good, man. I hopped out that shower and felt so good, man. It says reduce risk of depression and Alzheimer's disease. Exercise has been shown to protect against these conditions. Other benefits: increase energy levels. Exercise improve overall stamina and vitality, improve mood and self-esteem. Exercise release feel-good hormones and promotes a sense of accomplishment. And I did feel like, because I felt like it, but I didn't feel like it. But after I did it, once I got into it, it was like I was on go. And that's the thing, like, about working out, because this ain't my first time, you you have a span where you might work out, then you might kind of fall off, then you work out, then you know, consistency is the key. That's number one. But one thing about it is the hardest part is just that first day. After the first day and you get into it, it kind of becomes addictive once you start getting into it. And then once you start seeing your shape take form, let's say for the, I'm a man, for the men, you start seeing, them arms getting bigger, them tries and them buys and your chest getting bigger. You kind of be like, woo, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You be feeling good. You feel stronger. You start fitting your clothes different. That will give you a little bit more self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? As far as how you maneuver out here, reduce risk of chronic diseases. Exercise help prevent or manage conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and certain types of cancers. All right. So those are some of the benefits. It was something about mitochondria. I was watching a video going into mitochondria, and let me say something. Yep. So mitochondria are organelles within the eukaryotic cells that are primarily known as powerhouse of the cells because they generate most of the cell's energy, currency, ATP, through the process called cellular respiration. So mitochondria, let me see. Let me do this. They was going into it. Yeah, here we go. Yes, exercise can increase the number and function of mitochondrial cells. It says exercise stimulates the production of new mitochondria. Exercise promotes the merging of damaged mitochondria, creating healthier and more efficient organelles. So mitochondria, let's see what do mitochondria. What is the function of mitochondria? The main function of mitochondria is to generate energy for the cell in the form of endogenous ATP through the process called cellular respiration. They are optical because they produce images power cells. All right, so these cells produce their function including calcium storage, regulating metabolic activity, and program cell death. So these mitochondrial cells, they are very important. And I was watching this video about how, the mitochondria, you build, how you build it up, once you start working out through the process of working out. So I want to get this scripture real quick. Let's go back to 1 Timothy 4. Matter of fact, no, let's go here. Let's go to, I think that's Ecclesiastes 30. Because health is wealth, and that's real. It says, Ecclesiastes 30, verse 14, better is the poor being sound and strong a constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and a good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life of a continuous sickness. Yeah, and I know this firsthand because my father passed from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's a cancer. And I remember one day, he was in the hospital and he was saying how, he wished he could just, put his car on the road, meaning take a road trip, because he had just had a new car. And yeah, but instead on that nice summer day, he was in the hospital sick with cancer, and just think about people that's in and out of the hospital. A lot of times, they're very grumpy because they're in pain. The quality of life is very low because they're in pain. Just think about when something hurting on you. Say if you woke up with a dang on crook in your neck, that changes your day. You know what I'm saying? You woke up with a crook in your neck and you got to go to work. You're, you know what I'm saying? It's going to change your day. You wake up with a toothache. It's going to change your day. You wake up with a migraine. Those things changes. Even though, they eventually go away, that day is different from, the day before when you was good. You know what I'm saying? So you can be a millionaire, a billionaire, but if you in and out the hospital, weekly, your quality, yeah, you can pay for the doctors, you can pay for the best medicines and this and that, but your quality of life, you're not going to be feeling real, real good having all that money. You're not going to, you can't really enjoy that money is what I'm going to say. You ain't going to be in the club or taking trips and, chilling with the ladies and all that. No, you sick. So it's not really, hey, man, health is wealth. All right. It's better to be making, $20 an hour and be in good health versus, you got $10 million and you just sick all the time, man. That scripture hit. All right. And it's a lot of people that's got money, and they sick. They got good, they got bank, man. All right. They might not be a millionaire, but they got money. They good. They got a cashed out house, some crib, some cars. They're financially able to take trips, couple trips every year, all these things, but all of a sudden they might come down with a dis-ease and their life change. Okay? Now let's go back to 1 Timothy 4. All right, let's go back to verse 8. It says, for bodily, let me read in the NLT, it says, physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and in the life to come. Yeah, because you can have the best physique in the world. That's why another reason why I say it's profiteth little. You can have the best physique in the world, but your spirit ain't right. Meaning, you headed for doom, for destruction, man. All right. But training for that godliness. What is training for godliness, man? All right. Training for godliness is, let's get it. What was that? Oh, I think that is that second address? Let me go back. Let me just get something. All right, training for godliness is the best thing. Yep, second address 14, and let's start at 14. Second address 14 and 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. All right, the weak nature. What? This flesh, man. These thoughts. All right. It can be a challenge at times, but this is what we got to do. We training for godliness, man. All right. We're going to be God kings in the earth, us men. All right. We have to think beyond this world, man. Okay. And set aside, verse 15, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. All right. So, we really is looking for a kingdom to come, brothers and sisters, collectively. That's in the truth and sincerity. All right. But from time to time, you get caught up in little stuff in your day to day or whatever, stuff with your family. You might have kids, your wife, your husband, for sisters. Your husband, for brothers, you might have a woman, your wife, whatever, so, and just overall life period. But we got to put off that weak nature, man. All right. That's the condition that's one of the conditions of the battle. All right. Is that we is in this flesh, man. All right. And that's another thing. Let me get that. The lust of the flesh. And we slip, man. We slip day by day, man, myself included. There's something I'm working on, and we always going to be working on it until, we not going to be perfect. It says, let's get, where the one I wanted? Yup, 1 John 2 and 6. I'm slocky. 1 John 2, I'm going to start at verse 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him, all right? Putting off that weak nature, the love of this world. Now, we use the world, but we don't abuse the world. We do what we got to do. We work. We take care of our family, We take care of the home front. We handle our business, whether you got car problems or this problem and that. You got to handle those things, all right? But the love of this world, I want to be the best rapper. I want to make billions. I want to, whatever. You got all these dreams, goals, and aspirations as far as just making it in this world. Well, guess what? We already know the prophecies is jumping off the page. All right. So, hey, we got to leave this world behind, man. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, right? All right. So we got to put off that weak nature. And this is a part of training for godliness, man. All right. Training for godliness. Because, brothers, we ain't going to be true kings on this side. We ain't going to be true kings until Yahweh Shah come. Destroy Esau, Edom, the rest of these heathen nations. Put them down, put them in captivity, and raise us up. All right. Then we going to be true kings. All right. So we should already have a hatred for this side like none other. All right. The Israelite man, because we at the bottom of the bottom. We under our women. That's the thing about it. So we should already, have a certain hatred and a certain haste to get the heck on, especially knowing the promises to us. All right. It says what? Promising benefits in this life and in the afterlife and in the life to come. All right. Because the Lord do throw us bones, man. All right. We do have certain benefits in this life, man. But the life to come is going to be way, way better, man. It's going to far exceed, the benefits that you have now. All right, yeah, I make 100K a year. I make 150K a year. The Lord might have threw you that bone. You got ladies, you really in good physical shape. You know what I'm saying? You got a good little career, this, that, and the fourth. You got a nice home, nice car, this, that, and the fourth. All right, the Lord threw you them bones, but the world to come is going to be far exceed that. Far exceed, because really, you still a slave. All right? You still a slave. You don't control the resources. You don't have a seat at the table. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man. It's pretty much the point, man. I just want to throw this out on wax. Lord willing, it reach somebody. Lord willing, it motivate somebody that's been thinking about getting active, walking, running, exercising. Go ahead and do it. The hardest part is actually getting up and doing. Once you get up and do it, all right, you're going to feel good. I'm telling you. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the next lesson. Shalom.